Good afternoon.
Hello.
It is so nice to meet you. So, my first question is, how did you get your start as an animator? What drew you to animation?
Well, when I was in around sixth grade, I used to collect DVDs of my favorite animated movies. Yeah, you see, we used to watch DVDs back in my day. But on there, they had special features like behind the scenes and trailers. Trailers were always my favorite part. But the behind the scenes features were the most fascinating to me because they would actually show you how to make these animated movies and how the process is done. And I don't know, it just kind of clicked with me because I always wanted to be a filmmaker, and seeing as how animation is this laborious but rewarding process, it just kind of made me realize, hey, I can make movies through animation and, do something really interesting with that. And so I went to school for animation, graduated with a bachelor's and a master's, and I've been freelancing ever since.
Wow. Who and what were your influences?
Um, Eric Goldberg, the animator behind the genie from Aladdin, Richard Williams, who's best known for being the animation director on Who Framed Roger Rabbit and the infamously unfinished Thief and the Cobbler. I'm also inspired by the works of Hayao Miyazaki and Andy Tartakovsky, Tex Avery, Chuck Jones. The list goes on.
What was your impetus in getting to the indie animation scene and, well, and also the pilot itself? Hmm.
Well, it all started when, as I was graduating, I applied to work on the Hasbin Hotel pilot as a cleanup artist. And so I did. And after a year, it got finished. It got, released online, became an international sensation. And it kind of prompted me to want to make my own pilot. And I started pre production, and I'm still hashing away at it 5 years later.
My next question is, how do you approach character design in general role, and how did you approach it for the pilot?
Well, a good rule of thumb in character design is to look for inspiration and, determine the different body shapes and proportions of each character because you don't want to have the entire cast to look the same, right? You want some kind of variety. As for the pilot, I wanted the visual language to be based on classic cartoons like Tex Avery and Chuck Jones and even 90s cartoons like Animaniacs and Darkwing Duck.
Very interesting. What was the process for casting the actors in the pilot?
I used castingcall.club to uh, put a casting call for both Detective and Foxy, and I ended up getting Kieran Flitton and Elsie Lovelock, respectively. As for Dr. Charlie Horse and Ashley, I personally approached Ray Harrell and Tony Goldmark.
What was a typical day like working on the pilot?
Well, when the pilot was fully in production, of course, now we're in kind of a hiatus due to budget reasons, but usually I would work on my portion of the pilot, like animate a shot or clean up a shot, and I would go to my Discord group and I would check on my animators and I would look at their shots and give them notes and, just kind of assign new shots for some of them.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. Again, it was so nice to meet you. It was so nice to have you on this interview. And I wish you the best. I wish you the best for your pilot. I hope it
Thank
could
you.
come out soon. And yeah, best of wishes.
Yeah, totally.